Okay, welcome back to another video. So I thought I'd follow up the previous video with 5 very difficult things to find that I hate. So yeah, bear with me, something's going to be quite difficult. I've had to think kind of long and hard about it. It isn't easy. I would definitely say that one of my biggest pet peeves, and this being a 2016, I know they've kept it the same pretty much since 2006, except for, you know, a few fairing changes essentially. That's all it is. But my biggest pet peeve that I wish everybody, and you would expect everybody to kind of be doing in this day and age, is a fuel gauge. You know, it's not huge, it's not, you know, anything crazy, and it's not you know, something that's a make or break about a motorcycle, but a fuel gauge would be fantastic. So what I do is I just reset my trip every time I fill up. So I know I get, you know, pretty much a certain amounts of kilometers, so I just reset it, and you know, that's good enough for me. But as I said, you know, a fuel gauge would be fantastic. I know the CBRs have done it for a long time, the CBR 600s, and you would think that the other Japanese manufacturers would have kind of caught on at some point. I'm not exactly sure which other models do or don't. I'm not sure about the Kawasaki ZX6 or the Suzuki GSX-R 600. Although no, I don't think the Suzuki does it. My mate's got a 2007. I know it's an older model, but as far as I'm aware, he doesn't have a fuel gauge. So at number 4, and again this one might be slightly controversial to some may like it, some may not. But at number 4 for me would be, you know, electronic aids. Now, I'm not a huge fan of, you know, having electronics control the motorcycle for me. However, there are certain instances where I think it would be quite nice, such as ABS or traction control. And in my mind, the only kind of place I could see myself using that is pretty much in our summer seasons, you know, in the rainy seasons. I think it'd be kind of nice to have you know, some form of assistance when driving on a wet road, you know, because I don't know if it's like this in other countries, but in our country, as soon as there's a little bit of wet or water on the road, people completely forget how to drive, completely. So in that aspect, and again, I know that from 2017 onwards, if I'm not mistaken, they started doing that. I'm not sure if it's ABS and traction control or one or the other or both. But again, I'm talking about my specific bike, my specific model. Yeah, you know, ABS traction control, that would have been nice to a degree. Days like this where it's sunny and you don't really need it, you know, it's nice to go, alright, let's switch it off, I'm okay without it. But as I said, if there's a bit of rain, it's always nice to have that extra bit of help, you know. No one wants to have a low side or a high side and, you know, damage their bike unnecessarily. And then regardless of how good of a rider you may be, shit happens, man. There's no way of getting away from that, you know, shit happens. Alright, so number 3, this is a minor one. It's really minor, but it may not even be an issue for most people. But for me, it has been in the past. And that would be the rear brake sensor for the brake light. Now, that's hidden behind the rear brake set. So where it comes on the inside between the frame, or at least the swing arm and the rear brake, it has a little pressure sensor. Now again, I may be doing it wrong, maybe there's an easy way of going about it, but I've found that I've had to remove that right rear set to access the pressure sensor that has like a little nut on it that you kind of turn in and out to set its sensitivity. So I found that's quite a bit of a bitch to get to. Again, this is probably just me and my issue with my specific model, I suppose. So that's a little frustrating, having to take that off, and then of course on that rear set attached to it is the bracket that holds the exhaust. So you need to get that done correctly and then put it back, and hopefully you've got nothing that's too loose or anything. So that's a little frustrating. Yeah, again, it's a small one and I'm really just nitpicking at the moment. I really am nitpicking. And then at number 2, this one is a little frustrating. And again, maybe there's a fix. I've looked, but I haven't wanted to bugger around too much. Is the throttle cable. The throttle cable is below the switches over here. So there's the throttle cable bracket, and then on that side, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, is the throttle cable. Now I would like to drop my brake lever down a little bit so that I don't have to I'll just wait for this car quickly. I'd like to drop my brake lever down a bit so I don't have to take my hand out and on. So it's not that bad as it is, but you know, a little bit further down, just so I don't have to bring up and forward to kind of grab it. So I'd like to push that down, but I can't because it starts to hit the throttle cable. And as I've said, I've kind of looked, and some people said, yeah, just flip it around, and some people say, no, you shouldn't. So I've decided not to play with it just yet. And again, following the routine of literally just nitpicking, I've had to really kind of figure out things, and obviously there's small little nuances here and there. But for number 1 would be the tank. The tank's beautiful, and again with the 2017 and above, absolutely gorgeous. Love the little shark fins that they've got over there. But what would be cool, and I think CBR did a really good job with that, is that they've got the tank below a plastic cover. So for instance, if you have, say, 2 separate fairings, you know, one fairing for when you take it to the track day, you know, so if you have a fall or a spill, you're not damaging maybe your OEM fairings if you'd like to maybe resell the bike at some point. The problem with Yamahas is that it's a straight tank, you know, spray painted tank as is. This section over here is plastic, but this is straight metal tank. And as I mentioned, for instance, with the CBR, they've got the tank, but they've got a plastic tank over here, and the actual tank itself is below here. Now that's clever, you know, you can just pop this off, put a new one on, you know. If I drop the bike, you know, accidentally at a robot or a stop street or something, there's a strong possibility, you know, for instance, that the corners will get damaged. Now again, I know you get little protectors that you can put on the corners, which is great, but you know, like I said, if maybe I want different fairings, you know, just for the hell of it, different set of fairings, like I said, for track day, or you just want to kind of change the look a little bit, you need to kind of go for something that maybe matches this color, or you're gonna have to take it off and get it spray painted. So again, very small nitpicky things, that's really all it is. There's really nothing I hate about this bike. It's absolutely fantastic, it's treated me well, and I absolutely love it, you know. So there's my top 5 very nitpicky things that I dislike about my 2016 Yamaha R6. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you another day.